Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, we're here to talk about Malaysia's most affordable Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 device, and that is the iQOO 12. Now I do happen to have both colorways with me here today. We have the one in white and there's also the one in black. But if you take a look at the designs themselves, you might think that iQOO is actually a gaming phone, but this time around they actually put the design into something a little bit more elegant, so you don't really have to tell the whole world that you are using a gaming phone. Anyways, let's talk a bit more about the iQOO 12 and find out if this is the device for you. So let's begin right away. Now first and foremost, I think we should start off talking a bit about the design. iQOO calls this the sort of like porthole kind of design, and it's supposed to remind you of something like looking in through space, through a window, or through a porthole. So that's where the design inspiration is coming from. The good thing here is that both devices, regardless of color you get, they're both using glass back panel. The one on the white here is sort of a glossy back panel, whereas the one on the black is a very nice matte smooth panel here. So very cool stuff there. In terms of the overall weight, they do feel quite lightweight, and I just feel that there's a lot of nice touches to the entire back panel. It's slightly curved on the sides here. That means that just holding it and just holding it for long periods of time, you won't feel that it's a strain onto your hand. And very more importantly, the camera bump at the back is just so flat, guys. It's barely protruding, and this is perfect for gaming on a daily. Now I've actually had my Xiaomi 14 Pro, and that device had a huge camera bump, and just playing games on it didn't feel comfortable at all. So the iQOO 12 is actually very comfortable to play games on, which I'll talk a bit more later. Now you might also notice something here. The BMW M Power logo is at the back here, and that's because they are still the premium partner for the iQOO 12. So yep, that's just in terms of the design overall. I think it is very good that they chose to go with something a bit more elegant like that compared to what is very gaming oriented on some other brands. Right, so let's talk a bit more about the gaming element. How good is this phone when it comes to gaming? Well, for starters, we do have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 that I mentioned earlier on. It also comes with 16GB of RAM, which you can expand by an additional 16GB. It's the LPDDR5X RAM, that means that it's going to be very quick. And also, in terms of storage, the model that I have here is 512GB, and that is UFS 4.0. That means your storage is going to be the fast storage. Installing apps, running apps, everything is going to be very much faster with UFS 4.0. Other than that, there's also a vapor chamber in here, which iQOO is saying is way larger than its predecessor. And just in terms of the overall gaming experience, how did I feel about it? Well, I must say that this is actually one of the best phones to game on. Number one, it doesn't give out a lot of heat. So I noticed that after playing like 2.5 hours of Mobile Legends on maximum graphics, I know I shouldn't be playing for that long, but I noticed that there was actually barely a lot of heat coming up from the back. So if you're going to be playing games like Genshin Impact as well, obviously depending on your graphic levels, there might be different levels of heat, but this is actually one of the most coolest phones that I've used for gaming for quite some time now. Other than that, in terms of the battery life, I noticed that after 2.5 hours of playing Mobile Legends, it only went down by about 35%, which I think is a very respectable amount. We do have a 5000 mAh battery in here that actually supports 120 watt fast charge, but the battery life has been great so far for playing games, and I think if you are an avid gamer, you are going to appreciate the battery life that you can get on the iQOO 12. Now other than that, what else can I talk about the gaming experience? There's actually this game frame interpolation that is powered by their super computing chip Q1, and you can also turn on game display enhancement to get 144Hz playing on your Mobile Legends, for example. So say for example, if the game that you are playing on does not support 144Hz, you can just pull the tab on the side and actually activate that game display enhancement, and you will be able to enjoy 144Hz, very smooth frame rate and kind of gameplay on your iQOO 12. Now in case you're wondering about the haptics, we also have in here the X-axis linear haptics. So all your vibrations is going to be very strong and crisp, which I love. And last but not least, we also have stereo speakers on board to also enhance the entire gaming experience. So just in terms of gaming, I think you do not have to worry about the iQOO 12. It's definitely going to be one of the most powerful phones out there. I'm just going to show you a very quick AnTuTu benchmark as well as the Geekbench 6 results that you can expect from the iQOO 12. And again, they are the highest that I've tested and even higher than that Xiaomi 14 Pro that I did mention earlier on. Alright, so what else is cool about the iQOO 12? Well, if you take a look at the front, we do have here a flat display, which is not just great for gaming, but it's also great for daily use. You won't have those sort of like accidental touches on the side, which I think is great. In terms of the size, it's a 6.78-inch unit. It's an LTPO AMOLED display. That means that it will be more battery efficient. And more importantly, we have that 144Hz, which I mentioned earlier on, and up to 3000 nits of maximum brightness. Just in case you're wondering about your PWM dimming, the display also comes with 2160Hz PWM, but But overall, this is a great display, one that is very vivid. It's great for watching movies, browsing on social media, as well as gaming. It's an overall device, not just for gaming. Now, last but not least, let's talk a bit about the cameras at the back. What do you actually get on a gaming phone? Now, previously, we always expect the camera to be the poorest aspect of a gaming phone, but for the iQOO 12, that's actually very different. Now, at the back, we do have a couple of sensors. I will try not to go into the megapixel count, but just in terms of the images, guys, I was actually very impressed. I was just out and about, traveling here and there, and I took a couple of shots with the iQOO 12, actually about 200 shots as of today. I noticed that pictures taken during the day came with a lot of detail. There are 3 different kinds of settings that you can choose your pictures. You can have the natural, you have your vivid, and you can have the textured look. Now, I personally prefer the textured look, but of course, it all depends on your personal preference, and you can choose the one that you prefer. Other than that, the pictures coming out at night also came with a lot of detail, minimal noise, and I think this is one of iQOO's strongest camera phones to date. So it doesn't give you just a gaming vibe, but also you can use this phone as a daily driver. If you are not even a gamer, guys, this is actually something that you can consider getting as well. Alright, so that pretty much sums up my quick review of the iQOO 12. The whole idea about these devices here is that not only do they do great in terms of gaming performance, but if you're just going to be using a brand new phone, a new flagship phone on a daily, you can definitely count on the iQOO 12 as well, especially since the price is just RM3399. Again, the most affordable Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 device here in Malaysia, and you get a ton of good specifications on board. Well, if you have any further questions, feel free to leave me a comment down below. I'll try to help you out if you need any help, and thank you for watching again to the end. Don't forget to drop a like and sub to the channel if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.